had to have... There it is, live.
Oh,
looking for this transformation.
Oh, my chest is like super white. What the heck is this?
Porcelain. White as porcelain. Now, we've got...
Oh, no.
That's okay, you know?
That's, yeah,
just
no, it's
curb
all
your
good.
Just curb your white privilege. That's all you got to do, is curb your white privilege. I do, all the time.
You know, it's funny. Side tangent.
Literally.
Ethnicity-wise, I'm not even, like, full European.
No.
I'm mainly Hispanic.
Really? Mainly
Yeah.
Latino?
Yeah.
Really?
Like, nobody knows because I'm... Look at that.
Porcelain.
Look, yeah.
Porcelain. She's as pale as me, and
Look
I'm
at that.
a half British, half German Euro mutt. I'm the Euro mutt. I'm the you know, the white guy in the room. Obviously, I glow like Casper,
Yeah,
the
no,
friendly ghost. I glow in the
same
dark.
here.
That's how white I am. But no, really, the Latina bloodline is in the Greenwood family.
Yes.
See, like really? Okay.
60%, yeah.
From what country in the Latin American pantheon of countries?
Well, Mexico.
Yeah, Mexico. I know some Salvadoran
Spain
friends of mine.
as
Yeah.
well, as far as I know. I know for sure Spain and Mexico.
I have a Panamanian friend.
I have a
Salvadoran
friend that's
friend?
yeah, same here. I have a friend that's from El Salvador.
Hi, Cliff and Hannah in a cute
Oh,
TARDIS
wow.
dress. Yeah,
Oh.
cute TARDIS.
Yes,
Yes,
thank you.
the TARDIS box.
Thank you, thank you.
In the TARDIS outfit. Hello there. Everybody, hi.
Oh, hello.
Hannah is new. Well, Treehouse 31, please let us do a proper introduction to the show, now that we know the show is a real show and we're not just bouncing over a title card that never went away. Here it is. We're here watching the OneRing.net live. This is the one weekly stop, your one weekly destination for a live stream show to talk about hobbits and magic rings, dragons, goblins, dwarves, wizards, and mortal men. And every now and then you find some interesting details within the nooks and crannies. Our conversation gets much bigger and broader, not just the Middle-earth stories and The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings and Silmarillion, but we go far afield into other convos with science fiction, fantasy, and we'll be talking about the new Blade Runner movie.
Events as well.
Oh my gosh, because they're so interconnected by, you know, all of our friends and our cast and crew from the Lord of the Rings and Hobbit movies are now doing other interesting films and other TV shows. We're going to even talk about the director of the upcoming J.R.R. Tolkien biography film. Now, his brand new movie, Tom of Finland, is in theaters right now. You can go down the road just a few blocks to the Sunset Cinema at Crescent Heights.
You could even pirate it online.
Yeah, if you're a naughty, naughty, naughty hobbit. A naughty hobbit who deserves to have your ears pinched, and you need to be dragged back into the dishwashing area in the back of the tents because you're a naughty hobbit. I might have known. Meriadoc Brandybuck.
And Peregrine Took.
And Peregrine Took. I might have known. Yeah, you ready for a Gandalf quote? We're going to start our show for the OneRing.net Tuesday. Torn Tuesday. You're going to get in touch with us here. There's a live show going on, and that means you can chat with us.
And
you
also
can
Skype is open as well, so...
Isn't it right there? And according to Justin, we get the Skype going here. We'll get picture and Pete in picture. That means you guys can be part of the show live. Come Skype with us. The hotline, which is floating over our heads, is 530 number 6 number 4 FRODO. For Frodo. All right? 530-64-FRODO. Give us a call. The hotline is open. It goes to my phone right here. And you can watch us on Ustream Live, the OneRing.net on Facebook. You can watch us on Twitter Live.
And Instagram
Live.
as well.
And soon we will be on all kinds of other live platforms, including our main event page, which is at theonering.net.
We could even phase into your house.
/live.
Yeah.
Interphasing? Oh, yeah, you can interface because you're in a TARDIS.
Yeah,
you can get in and out.
exactly.
Okay.
I could just show up to your house.
She's in a TARDIS.
Oh, what's up, guys?
She's literally in a TARDIS, I'm telling you.
Exactly.
If anyone had asked me, which I note they have not, we're taking the long way round. Good enough. We should seek the mines of Moria. My cousin Balin would give us a warm welcome.
And Gandalf's just sitting over here like, nah, you're crazy little fool. That's his pipe. Yeah.
No, Gimli, I would not take the mines in Moria unless I had no other choice.
Gimli's all like, come on,
Ian.
son.
I'm sorry, Ian, you don't sound like that, but I speak stupid.
I think I would win in our impressions, honestly.
Yeah, you would.
I would.
You would, I'm sure. Hey,
his pipe.
There's Vicky, there's J. Anthony Guadalajara. There's, hey, there's Pipsky.
Hello, hello,
there's
hello,
Sarah.
hello.
There's Eli. Hello from New Zealand. Hey, good. There's Eli.
There's Griffin.
Great. Yeah, thanks, J. Anthony. That's hilarious. No, the thing is, it's not that great. We're going to turn on Skype. Anytime you guys want to Skype the account to find us is the One Ring Net. Sometimes our nickname on Skype is visible as Barlamans. Because we're all going to, in honor of the famous chat room on the OneRing.net, we have Barlaman's Chat, which is a really famous chat room. So we thought it would be good to name our Skype something familiar. We named it Barlaman's. But just look us up, the One Ring Net. There we are. Thank you, Stephanie. I love your voices too, even though I've never heard one. But thank you, Stephanie. Who's
Did my
ready?
letter of Hogwarts count?
Yeah.
Ah.
Aren't you lucky?
There's nothing.
Aren't you lucky this isn't a howler?
Oh, man.
Yeah, there's a little owl delivering a Hogwarts message. Yeah. Yes, I would love to do an audiobook. I absolutely would love to do an audiobook. Whisper that from your lips to, God's ears and the gods of audiobooks. Let them hear that. That'd be great. Yeah, I'd love that.
Yeah, you and Richard could do audiobooks together.
You ready for one more quick impersonation?
Yeah.
Because the internet went crazy a couple of weeks ago when it was Mean Girls Day. All right? It was Mean Girls Day because the dude turns around, he's like, "What day is it?" And she's like, "It's October 6th." Right? Wasn't it October 6th when this happened on Mean Girls Day?
If my sister was here, that's
so
her favorite movie, so she could tell you.
Me too. It's brilliant. And your sister, she's brilliant. Okay. I'm telling you, I love that.
Right.
The thing is, we have our own version of Middle-earth specific.
Mean Girls Day.
It's like a Mean Girls Day, but it's more like...
No, it is.
It's more like a Wake Up in Rivendell Day.
It's a Mean Girls Day, total Mean Girls Day.
It is. Yeah, so our equivalent would be...
On Wednesdays, we wear gray.
Hashtag October the 24th. Are you ready? Okay. This is it. Dun, 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 dun.
Go.
I need a long stem pipe. You are in the house of Elrond. And it is 10 o'clock in the morning on October the 24th, if you want to know. And you're supposed to say, "Gandalf, why didn't you meet us?"
Okay, hold on.
Right? That's your bit.
Let me get... Gandalf, why didn't you meet us? Hold on. Oh.
Flashback. I do the whole flashback with Christopher Lee and, escape on, and then I was delayed. What does he say? He actually says, "I'm sorry." Does Gandalf apologize? He says, "I'm sorry. I was delayed."
And then
I think he says, "I'm sorry."
He gets like some kind of Vietnam flashback.
Yeah, and then he does this
just kind of goes,
napalm, apocalypse now. Yeah.
The children, they all burned. I couldn't do anything. I'm sorry.
Absolutely, totally. Yeah. Full Metal Jacket. Then Gandalf has his napalm
to save them.
Flashback. It's true. He does. It's quite true.
I did a film like that. It was great.
Greetings from Portugal.
Oh,
hello. Thanks again. Another great stream. We're observing October the 24th because the internet went crazy for Mean Girls Day, which matched a mere mention of dialogue. Just one random mention of dialogue of the whole Mean Girls movie, and it happens to have been an internet sensation. Now we've got our own. October 24th is today, and we did this thing on our Twitter feed. If you're not following us on Twitter, please check us.
I'm not.
The One Ring Net.
I'm kidding.
I'm about to... Really? Really? Of course you do.
You're like...
All right, live on the hotline. We're getting notes on the hotline. 530-64-FRODO. Question. I'm looking forward to the new Star Wars section of Disneyland, as are we all, because I was just there at Disneyland a week ago, and you can see the giant AT-ATs and the huge spires of mountainsides that they're building. They're unbelievably big structures that will dominate the skyline of the city of Anaheim. And he says, so just wondering if you think there will ever be a Middle-earth theme park.
I think that's a difficult question.
We speculated about that about 5 or 7 years ago, and one of our good friends, Stargate Geek, her name is Emily. Emily was so kind, she sent us an envelope. It's right up there, and it is her quote-unquote rough draft of what a Middle-earth theme park would look like. Actual blueprints, my friends, of a Middle-earth theme park, that she created one for us. So, yeah, we've had some speculative discussion, but that's all you're going to get out of it, because with the rights to that will never be released. Well, so, no, that's not going to happen.
I'm a little more hopeful.
You think the family's going to let the rights go for that?
Well, maybe when I'm really old, yeah. Possibly. Possibly.
No.
Maybe.
No. Artemis. Yeah. Artemis Fowl. He's sitting right here.
Hey.
Right here. Hey there.
Hey.
Hey, what's up, buddy? Hey. So, I'm telling you, it would be a fantastic and intriguing thing if all the artists from Weta and used licensed imagery from the Middle-earth films, and instead of it just being some ramshackle new version of Middle-earth stuff. It would be interesting for it to be thematically consistent. Gosh, it would be so cool.
No,
but
imagine though. Like,
I don't really think it's ever going to happen.
This is just a speculation, but you've been on like the Harry Potter ride, right?
No. Tell me, what have I missed?
Okay, well,
the new one here, Universal.
Yeah. Or I mean, I think Orlando's the same too.
Orlando's what?
I've never been to Orlando, so.
Just to remind the worldwide audience that tunes in, we're here in Hollywood, just like a block down from Hollywood and Highland, where the Oscars are, and here we are. Oh, so Artemis wants to fly away.
Yeah.
Artemis wants to fly away.
He fell and then he got hurt.
I think I'm going to get some comedy out of this. He's fine. There's nowhere to go. We'll get some comedy out of this today. Yeah, you know what? We're in L.A., and so welcome all of our viewers.
The Devil's Armpit. It's really hot here.
It was 103 today.
It's still really hot.
109 yesterday.
It is 106 where I live.
Oh, gosh. What? Yeah, 103, 106. It's insane. It's insane. So we say welcome to all of our fans from Portugal, from New Zealand, and everybody around the world who's tuning in to come see our show. Welcome. Let us know what country you're from. Talk to us on the hotline and ask us, the Tolkien experts, any questions. Any questions about Tolkien? Let's talk about mischief in Middle-earth. You know what they're going to do? They're going to do more video games. And they're more likely to do things in Middle-earth franchise like a bridge film or an anthology TV series. Much more likely than they would ever do a theme park. I'm just saying that licensing ain't going to happen.
I do agree with you. I do agree with you.
Now, since somebody brought it up, what kind of rides, attractions, would you like to see in a Middle-earth theme park?
Back to what I was saying about the Harry Potter thing, because they have, like, you kind of go through the whole, not all of it, but more so like Goblet of Fire and like Chamber of Secrets. At least to me, anyway, that's what it seems like. You go through those two movies, and you see like.
Is it projection when you're on a ride?
It's that, and then there's some animatronics. Like there's Aragorn, the spider. Which I'm a big arachnophobe. I think
Aragog.
Aragog,
Aragog. Way too close to.
Close
of a name.
Too close. But they have a giant that and other animatronics, the spiders, and I'm a big arachnophobe. So, oh boy, that was.
What do you do when Shelob comes and attacks Frodo?
Oh, I mean, like.
What do you do when the spiders go after the dwarves and Bilbo? Because I'll tell you what, I jumped, literally, like, I'm going to hold Artemis, literally, in The Hobbit, Desolation of Smaug, I'm in the theater, popcorn, drink, or whatever, maybe popcorn and drink. And guess what happens? That big thing jumps up and comes running up on that branch, and I literally went, and I'm like, just like a bad comedy skit. I just literally spilled soda and popcorn all over people next to me, literally. So you're not arachnophobic.
Yeah, I mean, like, when I watched it first in theaters, I was all like, oh no, I know what this is gonna ensue, and I was like, ah! And then, like, the entire time, just, no, you know, like, that's what I do, But
that's funny.
Whenever I watch like Lord of the Rings or The Hobbit, it doesn't bother me as much. I just kind of go, you know.
Right, but first time
it like you know that, and then in real life with the animatronics. I don't like big animatronics as it is.
Okay.
So
could we have some spider animatronics?
That's a possibility. That and then a Schmog one.
Yeah? There should be a dragon somewhere. Okay, if the dragon had a dedicated presence, should he have a roller coaster named after him?
Yeah.
Or should we see some kind of huge, moving animatronic presence of him? And you're in a ride.
It should be both. Like
trying to get around him.
It should be like a roller coaster, but like an inside roller coaster, but there's a big animatronic.
Yeah.
And it goes around and you go in like the pile and you go, you know?
Yeah.
And he's like, I can see you, Barrel Rider. And then you're like, no, you can't. But
okay, that could be a ride in itself. The barrel ride would be a water flume ride.
Oh, yeah, that one.
Your waterlog ride would be the barrels, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm saying like with the Schmog one, he calls out. He calls out after you, like, I can see you, Barrel Rider, and you're like,
how about
dude.
How about the Eagles? The Eagles could become some kind of a flying ride.
Yeah.
Well, the easiest one would be recreating those big swings. The big swings. They could be Eagles. What else could we do?
You could have like a Radagast one too, somehow. Like a little kid ride, but like it looks like a sled, and then they sit on, and then it's
the
like,
bunny sled. Oh yeah,
yeah,
bunny
and then
sled.
It kind of goes, and then you're done. Like the little. That's for like the little kids.
Oh my gosh, they can combine projection with model building with pyrotechnics. They can combine so many theatrical effects and make these rides unbelievable experiences.
Yeah.
One interesting thing, I suppose, could be, how about a ride that goes continually backward, and you're always on it going backward? It would be a unique design. And what if you were in some kind of you know what would be a beautiful thing? Because sometimes you need wild roller coasters, and sometimes you need quiet rides that are like mood pieces, that are like, or some beautiful thing that has some surprise at the end. Imagine being in a ride that slowly moves backward, and you're in this buggy, like there's a moment in the Haunted Mansion where the Doom buggy leaves the attic, and you're next to the bride who has the heartbeat, and all of a sudden the Doom buggy turns and and all of a sudden
you're going like
and it's what, a 45-degree angle, and you're only on it for half a minute, right? But what if you're on a continuous ride that was like backwards, and around you was just projection, and it was the history of Middle Earth, and it was done with unique, effects in the air, atmospheric effects, moisture effects, sense of rain or the sound of thunder, and staging effects. And when you're going through this constant tube or whatever it is, you're going through and learning the history of the ring or the history of Middle Earth, and it could be one of those mellow rides, like the Hall of Presidents. You have to have a mellow ride that you can take grandma on. Yeah. Right? Instead of it always being topsy-turvy or an Indiana Jones adventure. But I'm telling you, there's lots of things we could do in a Middle-earth theme park. But, it's all just wild fantasy.
I got you, Sarah. I got you.
Someone's asking in the live chat on Facebook, where's Justin? Well, he is behind the camera, and he's been doing control booth things. He's been... There's a floating star. There's Justin. He's eclipsing us with a star. A shooting star. He's eclipsing us. There's Justin. Star. He's off to the side of the camera taking care of technical jiggery-pokery. And here's Artemis Fowl. Artemis has come back here.
Here's a star.
Let's talk about this controversy.
Controversy!
On Warner Brothers making the Justice League the shortest DC movie.
Wait, how short is it?
How could it be a controversy?
With credits, it's 1 hour, 59 minutes.
That sounds fantastic. That's entirely appropriate.
And do you feel that The Hobbit could have benefited from a shorter runtime?
My saying has been, although I enjoy spending time in Peter Jackson's Middle Earth, you really, really easily could have gotten a 2-part Hobbit film instead of a trilogy. Easily.
Trilogy, 3-hour movies.
Hey, I expected 3-hour films from the beginning because theatrical release of Two Towers and Fellowship of the Ring, they were 3 hours. And theatrical release of Return of the King was 3 hours and 19 minutes.
So
theatrical. So what's wrong with the 3-hour movie?
Are getting death threats and angry emails from fans saying they're ruining Justice League. It's the shortest DC movie ever.
Well, why would they?
No.
Shorter than Tim Burton, shorter than Christopher Nolan.
I hear a voice in the distance saying that there's death threats being sent against the editors at Warner Brothers for Justice League being turned in as a 2-hour runtime.
Yeah, you see, that's where we all stop as fans and think to ourselves, we're all human, and these people making the movies aren't your genies. I mean, yeah, you know, there's a big likelihood of them turning out absolute crap, but they're still human, you know? Whether doing it for the money or not, they have families.
They're only doing their job because they're doing what they're told. Now, Zack Snyder has stepped away from finishing Justice League, and that's because of the untimely death in his family. And the tragedy of him losing his better half, his wife. So, who stepped in to finish doing the editing? It was Joss Whedon, wasn't it? No, who was it who stepped in to finish the editing on Justice League? I'm gonna look it up, but I think it was Joss Whedon.
I don't know. I don't keep up with that kind of stuff.
And so, just like the other directors left the
like the Han Solo.
The Han Solo film, and then the Ron Howard comes in to to step in and shoot and finish directing when the other directors had to leave. So, don't blame the editors. Don't blame Zack Snyder. Don't blame anybody. There's a lot of studio influences going on and a lot of decisions being made that we don't know anything about, so who cares? Yeah.
Like, also, just another point is...
It's a short movie. 2
hours. I'm just going to use an example. In 2011, the kind of the remake, or I should say the prequel of the Thing, they built a lot of animatronics or, like, practical effects, like how they did in the original version. But they were going to keep it in there, but the studios didn't want that, and they wanted them to replace them with digital effects. So, it's a crappy movie now because of studio executives being like, oh, or, studio whatever, being like, oh, I want, we should have digital effects and blah, blah, blah. Because if you see, like, the B-roll footage of the practical effects, it looks good, but not as, to me at least, not as good.
Which film are we talking about again?
The Thing.
Oh, yes. Yeah. John Carpenter's The Thing?
Yeah, like the remake or prequel.
The remake, prequel thing that just came out a little while ago?
Yeah, because they
A year ago?
No. It came out 2011.
That's right. It was just a few years ago.
Yeah, because they were going to use practical effects originally, but...
No, you know what? Bad remakes of classic 80s films like Poltergeist.
Yeah.
Such a classic. And that awful remake, they've got stacks and stacks of them sitting in the dust bins at Amoeba Music, and no one can sell them. No one wanted a Poltergeist remake. That classic movie, John Carpenter's The Thing.
Yeah, personally,
no one wants a remake of that.
One of my favorite movies, but I'm just saying, like, in general, like the practical effects looked okay with the new one, but the movie's that one's just bad in general. But I'm just saying, like, with studio bigwigs, they have that kind of power, and they can totally break or make a movie with those,
They forced Ridley Scott to add in a long, like, voiceover for Deckard in the original studio release of Blade Runner back in the 80s.
Yeah.
And now, if you watch the final cut, this is the version that Ridley Scott has approved, not just the director's cut, but the final cut. It removes all that crappy voiceover. It removes the happy ending that was tacked on with all that green photography, that green aerial photography that was never in the way that Ridley Scott wanted real ambiguity, real difficulty and ambiguity to be left hanging in the air at the end of his original Blade Runner. So studio forced all these other changes on him. Yeah. So y'all can be, as Justin said, there's controversy about fans of the DC Extended Universe getting all pissy because Justice League is turned in as a 1 hour. Yes, Joss Whedon. Thank you, Pete Northrunner. I appreciate you, Pete. Woo. So, yeah, it's like...
Also, like with Little Shop of Horrors, when that movie came out, people with the original director's cut were like, oh, you know, spoiler alert, so if you haven't seen that, leave or mute it. Don't leave, but just mute. But, you know, at
Hey,
the
Seth.
at the end, when Audrey dies,
Yeah.
you know, a lot of people weren't happy about that, so they made another theatrical version with a different ending where Seymour blows up Audrey 2, and
Yes.
then, you know, none of the Audrey 2 stuff happens at the end where they take over.
The original black and white film?
No.
You know, I'm just saying, it is such a difference. Such a difference in that happy ending, yes.
Yeah.
Although I do love those songs. Howard Ashman, Alan Menken, at the early height of their powers, doing Little Shop of Horrors, before they got signed by Disney to do the songs for The Little Mermaid, therefore starting the revival, the Disney revival in their animation department. Little shop of horrors, watch 'em drop. A little shop of terror, bop shabop, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Honestly, though, I feel like this is such an unpopular opinion, but one of my favorite songs probably has to be Mushnik and Son.
I love Mushnik and Son.
I really like that one quite a bit.
I love Mushnik and Son. That's a fun song.
Do,
hey, we're, you know, show tunes, jokes here between us. Yeah. We're going to send out birthday shout-outs, since we're thinking about it, to a couple of different people. Justin's making some
slight arrangements,
suitable adjustments to the main camera.
Oh no, don't do that.
Some digital jiggery pokery. What's going on over there?
He has it zoomed in.
What's he trying to do?
We're out of focus.
All right, well, let's get it in focus.
Whiskers.
Very happy birthday today to Peter Swords King, the Oscar-winning makeup effects designer who shares an Oscar with Richard Taylor for the Lord of the Rings trilogy. Happy birthday from everyone at thewondering.net, the entire Tolkien community. He was also nominated for the same Oscar in the same category of effects makeup for The Hobbit: An Unexpected Journey. Hey, Peter Swords King.
Happy birthday.
You are in the house of Elrond, and it is not 10 o'clock in the morning. It is 5:30 in the afternoon, Pacific time.
Guess who else's birthday it was this week?
On October the 24th. Happy birthday, Peter Swords King. Very good. 111 years old. You haven't aged a day.
She has a birthday too.
Who else has a birthday?
Yeah, Kyle does as well.
I know Kyle has a birthday. Who's she? Who else has a birthday?
And you also posted about...
Oh, yes.
When was your birthday?
In July.
In July, okay.
Yeah. No, Viggo Mortensen's birthday was this week.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, really? Did we miss Viggo's birthday?
No.
You didn't.
Oh,
didn't.
wow.
I didn't. You
Happy
guys
birthday,
did.
Viggo. Happy birthday, Viggo Mortensen. We love you.
You
All the
majestic
wondering.net.
man.
All right, shout out birthdays to the once and future king.
Wait, who's...
Aragorn, son of
Guess how
Arathorn.
old he is. No Google.
55.
No, how old Viggo Mortensen is?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna say
No.
55.
I'm gonna say 50. I'm gonna say 56.
Wait, who am I not
57,
yelling
rather,
at
57.
on Twitter?
57.
57, 55?
57.
Your king, Elisar, is
King Elisar.
59.
Yeah, hey,
Wow.
59. Yeah, 59.
Huh.
When you watch Captain Fantastic and he's just standing there naked, you wouldn't believe he's a 59-year-old guy.
I'm not looking.
Because he's... No, just in general, the man is fit like an athlete, and he's not in his late 50s.
Full naked in that, too.
He has aged remarkably well. Viggo Mortensen has aged very well.
You know what?
Happy birthday, Viggo.
That's a good time for me to drink some water.
Don't we have ice cream somewhere?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
A
no.
special birthday ice cream for Kyle.
Here.
You guys, let's give a
You
shout out.
koala.
Hello, Jen. Jen, there in the live
he
chat.
is naked
There's
in
Bethany.
the movie.
Good to see you, Hannah, says Bethany.
Oh,
Jen says,
yes.
no, it's 8:33 in the evening. Eastern
I don't know
time.
how to open this.
Ooh,
Oh, no, I
look,
do.
we've got mini ice creams.
I
Because
got no nails.
it's getting hot in here. Opinions on the
getting
It movie.
hot in here.
Nigel Champion, I'm
Oh.
glad you
My
asked.
opinion is
Yes.
the success of a rated R It movie makes me hope that Peter Jackson returns to his roots.
How about that? Did you
But
hear
not
that,
as
Nigel?
gory.
In the distance, you may have heard, maybe the microphone didn't catch that, but our producer and showrunner, my usual co-host, Justin says that the success of an R-rated Stephen King It remake, Chapter 1, and certainly guaranteeing the success of Chapter 2, means that he has hope that Peter Jackson will come back to his roots and do big R-rated horror.
I mean, we've all seen it here. Am I correct?
Oh yeah, what?
Yes,
the Frighteners or It? Oh,
no,
these are so
It.
cute.
It.
I love these. Oh my gosh, I
It's the
could.
size of
You
me.
saw it?
It.
Yeah,
Did you see it?
raise your
Yeah.
hand if you saw It. I did. Or raise your ice cream.
What is it rated?
R.
It is rated R.
And what does
Hard
rated
R.
mean?
Rated R in
Restricted
America from the Motion Picture Association
something,
of America. Restricted?
Yeah.
Restricted audiences, no one under 17 permitted
How old are you?
unless accompanied
I'm
by parent or
17.
guardian.
Okay.
Oh, I actually have a funny story really quick about watching it. So, I have a friend that's a lot like a brother to me, right? So, him, his girlfriend, and a few other people were like, "Oh yeah, Hannah, you want to go see it with us after school?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." So, right after school, we drive to the movie theater. I'm gonna put this here so I don't get it dirty. So I ended up waiting like more than an hour for them to come. And
Whoa.
it was like assigned seating, but somebody was already sitting in my seat, and I was in like a dress because I had a meeting earlier, and it was funny though because there's these bikers in my seat. I was like, oh crap, you know, I'm small, and then they're like these big burly dudes.
Oh my gosh.
I can't tell them to get out of my seat. So
I would. You of all people should be able to say, would you guys be a gentleman and let a lady have her proper seat?
no, I want to go sit down other places.
Hashtag feminism, hashtag movie theater seats.
It's chivalry. not
I'm
feminism.
making a John Oliver tonight. This week with John Oliver tonight, I'm making a joke. Hashtag feminism, hashtag movie theater seats.
Oh boy.
But
A toast. Cheers. Clink. These are delicious, by the
Did
way.
you sit with your friends?
no.
Did
They got in there really, really, really late.
They showed up an hour into the film?
Yeah.
Well, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, and then it was funny though. I got kicked out of my seat like 3 times, so I ended up having to sit in the dark, like in a little corner by myself, going like this. And Justin's
On
over
that
there
movie?
going, yeah. So it was funny though because I'm squeamish when it comes to, this is a spoiler, yet again. If you haven't seen it, well, okay, no, it is, but I mean they show it in the trailer too, so you know. So when the kid Eddie like breaks his arm, like broken bones, I can't do, or else I'll throw up. So that happened. I was by myself, and I was like, "Oh God, oh no," you know.
Oh gosh.
I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna throw up," you know.
Oh my
But,
gosh.
I mean, it was funny though, because afterwards they're like, "You sat all by yourself," and I was like, "Yes, where were you?" And they're like, "Oh, we were late," and blah 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 blah, you know, all that. But they're like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." And I'm like, "Dude, it's fine." But yeah, no, that's my It experience.
I enjoyed the movie.
Also, Richie was the
Very
best
much.
character, and nobody can say so otherwise. Just saying.
Richie was a great character, yes.
Guess who else's birthday was this week?
Richie's a great character. Oh, is there...
Howard Shore.
Howard Shore also had another birthday shout out. Wow. Viggo Mortensen, special makeup designer,
Creative director.
Peter Swords King, creative director, Peter Swords King, Oscar winner. Birthday for Viggo, birthday for Peter, birthday for our friend Kyle, our amazing cosplay friend, Kyle Daskin, who's down there in Southern California making unbelievable Faramir and Boromir extended edition like costumes and leather armor. It's beautiful costume work that he's making. Happy birthday to you, Kyle. Big shout out to you. And then
We
who
love
else?
you,
Howard
Kyle.
Shore, did you say?
Long live effort
What the heck?
with a legendary Hemi engine. With the almighty
I don't know.
with best
But
in
it sounds like
class
something's playing.
towing. It's capable of carrying on great American traditions.
Yep,
Hurry in for
there's
the
a commercial
$1,000
playing on some
bonus
webpage somewhere.
cash on powerful Ram trucks.
Or for California residents, well-qualified lessees of competitive vehicles get a low-mileage lease.
I guess someone wants to sell you a lease on a Dodge or a Ram truck. How about that?
There's nothing open.
It's God
Yeah.
speaking to us.
It just happened.
He wants to sell you a Dodge.
Yeah.
It just happened. Okay, you
It's a
guys.
sign from above.
So, are you going? Is Kyle gonna debut new cosplay at LA Comic Con this weekend?
It seems like it, yeah.
Yeah, oh my gosh, the pictures he's been sending. Look, he just sent this. He's doing a paint job. This is spectacular. Look at this metallic.
Yeah, he was showing
When
me.
is our
Yeah, look at the metallic.
It's
Oh,
like
you're not
5.
Gonna be there.
My
You're
gosh.
not going to be there?
I'm afraid not. No.
Are you going to be there?
I have 2 weddings to
Yeah,
perform.
Are you gonna be there?
Yes.
Are they gonna be there?
I don't know. Are you guys going to be there?
You guys better be
If
there.
so, I mean, I'm not going to be in any Tolkien cosplay because I have a Hamilton meetup. You know what? But, yeah.
There it goes again.
It's a sign from above. I'm telling you right now.
Long live effort.
How do we stop it?
With a legendary Hemi engine.
Close the browser?
Almighty heavy duty. With best-in-class fifth-wheel towing. It's capable of carrying on
Yeah.
Quit Safari? Okay.
missions.
If I close the browser, guess what? It's coming out of
Skype?
all your messages. It's coming out of Skype.
Skype is stupid. You guys, the people better call.
Anybody? Evidently, hey, Skype. Evidently, Skype is on, and we're getting Dodge truck commercials on our Skype.
Instead of phone calls.
Oh my gosh, that little ice cream cone was yummy. That was a delicious treat.
Our panel's at 10 a.m.
We got to remind everyone that we do have a presence, a big presence coming up at LA Comic Con, which was previously known as Stan Lee's Kamikaze. Now it's called Los Angeles Comic Con. Yay!
That's right.
Guess what? I am embarrassed to admit this is the first one I'm going to miss in about 18 years. In about 18 consecutive years, this is the one panel presence at a major convention where I have not attended. This is my first one I'm
And
missing.
the stupid thing is, San Diego Comic Con has open registration at the same time as our panel.
Exactly.
Isn't that funny? At the same time as our panel, we expect people to be sitting in front of their computers desperately trying to get their Comic-Con tickets. Then blink, the server goes dead and it's all done and all the tickets are gone. Oh well.
And then you cry.
And then you cry. They do.
You go, why?
Hey, it's Pipsky saying, I've noticed Hannah has a Doctor Who dress on. Well, this is my new Halloween Doctor Who shirt. Oh. Ooh.
Woo!
Brooms are for amateurs. That's funny. Brooms are for amateurs because, and it's got that TARDIS with a Halloween-themed Doctor Who. That's a very cute design, Pipsky. Thank you. It's good to see you on the show with us. Now,
So what should we talk about at the panel?
You guys should talk about theories.
you should talk about what licensing is going to happen next now
You
that
should
the
have me on the panel.
lawsuits are settled. And
No,
what
I'm just kidding.
you guys should speculate far and wide about what
We
licensing
should
will
talk
happen
about
next.
that theme park.
We should talk about what started today.
I'm telling you, it's going to be an augmented
That's what's
reality
started
game
today.
before it's going to be
What?
anything else.
Today's the first day of production on J.R.R. Tolkien biopic starring Nicholas Hugh.
Nicholas Hoult. Guess what, everybody? I think I've learned how to pronounce his name. The director. His name is Dome Korukowski.
Yes.
Did I get that right?
Yes.
I just followed him on Twitter, and I've got Tom of Finland on my brain for no other reason, but the movie is playing a few blocks down the road from me. Now, this is interesting. The subject of this current biopic is a notorious artist whose entire career was shrouded by scandal, censorship, political attacks, and condemnation throughout his career because of the erotic content of his work as an artist. Now, this director, Dome Korukowski, is now, right, just as Justin said, he's beginning first production days on the new biography feature film about the author of The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, who is as diametrically opposed as an artist than Tom of Finland could ever be.
Which is kind of ironic if you think about it.
Deeply, not ironic, but it's so different. Now, how is he going to handle this context? I want to know, and this might be something I can prepare in a future interview, if I do get to sit down and have a nice chat, and Dome Korukowski, my friend, you as a filmmaker are welcome here to talk with us.
Yes,
and we will
please.
interview you, talk to you about doing a Tolkien biography, and I'll talk to you about doing a Tom of Finland biography, because the ideas are so different in how you would approach telling that story of an artist's challenge. Tolkien didn't have the same challenges as an artist that Tom did. He didn't face censorship or scandal or being shut down, you know, or like literally being shut down out of galleries and kicked out of countries, you know. Tolkien never encountered that. He was embraced. His work was really embraced and did not challenge people that same way. But his work challenged people a different way. And I'm interested in what Dome has to say about taking on that subject of, well, it's a totally different discipline, a different world. Well,
I mean, he could also
fascinating.
Kind of, in a way,
fascinating.
I'm trying to think. I mean, he could show like a portrayal of Tolkien with PTSD and how it affects him.
PTSD?
Because of the battle of Somme and then just trench fever in general, you know?
Yeah. There is.
That would be very interesting to see.
I see the tragedy of war in a lot of Tolkien's works. We see ugly, ugly things of warfare and how ruinous it is. And especially in the Silmarillion, Tolkien does not tread lightly. He likes to get real heavy with that kind of stuff. So, as they've said, other critics have said, only someone who's witnessed it himself, someone who's been face to face with death in the trenches, would be able to have that kind of impactful writing about it. It's Skype that has the stupid commercial going.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it was. It was a Skype commercial.
Somebody else who could make up. I'm not even gonna say it's bad.
No, what? What?
I can never pronounce this character's name, but you know the character who hangs by one arm off the. Help me out here.
Hangs from one arm off of.
Yeah, like of the cliff sides of. I know the names. I just blanking out. In the Silmarillion.
Oh, in the Silmarillion.
Yes.
Oh. It's not. Methros?
Yes.
Methros.
Yes.
Yeah. With the DH, that sounds like a TH.
Yeah.
Yeah, Methros. Yeah. It's almost as hard to say his name as it is Carathras, which Ian McKellen successfully does say, you know, we must take the pass of Carathras. After John Rhys Davies unsuccessfully tries to convince him to take the Moria route. Yes, that's right, Methros. Thank you, Eravandi.
Yes,
We've got it.
Thank you.
We got it.
Someone should call in and tell us what they think about the biopic.
Someone should call in. We've been asking these people to use that hotline that's floating over my head.
But nobody has.
530-64-FRODO. Oh, we did get a text. This is from Pipsky. We got that one. That's beautiful. Kyle sending this really, really cool. Oh, here's a message we got. It'd be cool if they'd make a theme park, rebuild all the major movie sets, and place them relative to each other to where they appear on the map of Middle-earth, so you could pass through the Shire, Rivendell, Erebor, etc. sections as you went through the park. Imagine the layout of a theme park was actually designed and laid out as physically Middle-earth would be, and different lands and appropriate places mapped out.
I don't know how they would pull off.
I love
Mordor,
that idea.
Though. I don't know how they would pull off Mordor, though. I mean, like if it is in Southern California, then yeah, they got the atmosphere.
How do they pull off Mordor? Well, that's going to be the daycare center. That's where you drop the kids off for the day. Mordor daycare, and that's where parents would like leave the little ones and then get to go enjoy the rest of the park. The day. No, I'm sorry, I'm terrible.
You get to go drinking at the Prancing Pony.
Yeah.
Go on, Timmy. All right, bye.
What else is in Mordor?
Don't be scared of the Uruk-hai workers.
Okay, there it is.
Yeah, no, all the workers in Mordor, the daycare, they all have Uruk-hai masks or goblin masks. All of them do. All the children get scared.
Gotta shut this off.
They all get
Guess
scared.
What?
But that's okay.
Or for California residents, well-qualified lessees of competitive vehicles get a low mileage.
Well, I'm about to turn Skype off because we're getting another Dodge Ram truck commercial. We get them every 20 minutes, every 15 or 20 minutes.
They want you to buy a Dodge,
We're getting a stupid...
They want you to buy a Ram.
That's ridiculous. Hey, Bethany, what's going on? Good to see you, Hannah. Yay.
Oh, hello. Hi.
Your dinner buddy at San Diego Con? Yay.
Oh, hi.
That's Bethany Myers.
Hola.
Will someone buy us a Ram truck?
Just say,
No, don't ask for that.
okay.
Don't.
One of the reasons why I anticipate a virtual or an augmented reality game or a bridge film before I anticipate other licensing of other large-scale items like, a theme park. It's Shadow of War is so successful.
Yeah.
Shadow of War is so commercially successful. I mean, in terms of sales. And
I haven't played it, but I heard from friends that it's like, oh yeah, it doesn't really follow any of Tolkien's works or like any of the mythology or anything like that. It's just a pretty game.
Yep. See, at least they know that.
I played the first one, but like it got hard, and I was like, I want to go back to Skyrim.
Sarah Vorhauer in the live chat says, I'm not impressed with the Star Wars sections that they're adding to Disney World, which, as we know, is in Orlando, in Florida. The artwork for Disneyland in California, Star Wars, looked cool, though. Well, it is.
She wants Thrall.
I had a job once at Disney Imagineering. I got to see some stuff behind the scenes that I wasn't supposed to be looking at.
Should they start a Run Tolkien group? Like Run Disney?
What's that? What's a Run Disney?
So then we could go, we dwarves are natural sprinters. Keep breathing, that is the key.
What is a Run Disney?
Run Disney's like a marathon thing, right?
Oh,
yeah,
really?
my teacher's a part of that. And he goes like every year, and he's all like, okay guys, bye. And then we're like, okay. Cool. Yeah.
You get to run around Disney.
Yeah. I can't do that because I got asthma, and I could die.
Sean Astin would definitely be behind that. He's so into endurance running, endurance fitness training.
A couple of years ago, in like sophomore year, I think, he ran around my school, and I knew that as he passed by. And then I checked Twitter, and I was like, oh, it says he's in Pomona. You know? Like, wait a second.
That close.
Yeah.
He's got a big thing coming out on Friday.
Who does?
Sean Astin.
Oh,
yeah.
Yes, that's right. Sean Astin does have a big thing coming out on Friday. It's called Stranger Things 2.
I've never heard of that.
Sean Astin joining Winona Ryder, Golden Globe winner, and dank meme empress.
Memes.
She is the dankest of memes.
I'm gonna be for
the
Halloween,
dankest of memes ever.
They had a Lord of the Rings joke in the first episode.
They had all the Lord of the Rings jokes.
They had Lord of the Rings jokes, man. They had like what was the movie ticket he was going to go see?
Oh,
was it The Dark Crystal?
No,
what did she get tickets for him to see?
He had a poster, but I think it was.
He did have a Dark
Crystal. The Exorcist.
No, she got him tickets to see something. Oh, was it The Exorcist? So she's like, ooh, super scary.
I'm pretty sure it was that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the Hollywood parody?
Yeah, it was pretty good.
That's excellent.
She looked exactly like the dude.
I know, she did. That's what my mom was saying, too. She's like,
Guys, we have a lot of ground to cover because we have to confirm, and yes, to our friends in the chat who asked, there will be no Torn Tuesday next week because it's Halloween. Halloween.
I'm sad.
Halloween.
So let me just get the question out there
get it
for
out there.
everybody at home, and then for you guys here. What are you doing for Halloween, or what are you going to be for Halloween?
I don't have a plan yet, which means I have to do a last-minute
Jeopardy.
It's a scary moment in my life. I have to do a last-minute costume. Anybody with last-minute costume ideas? Call Clifford.
Egg. There you go. What about you, Justin?
I have no plans.
Boo.
I've cosplayed out.
Boo.
What are you gonna be?
I'm gonna be Joyce from Stranger Things.
Oh, Joyce? Oh, that's fabulous. We're getting a call. Hey there, you're live on the OneRing.net on Torn Tuesday. Where are you calling from? It's the birthday boy, Kyle.
It's our boy.
I dropped the phone. Here's there's my
boy.
Hobbit phone with Bilbo. And who is that? It's Kyle, the birthday boy. Say hi.
It's the koala man.
Everybody, big shout out and a happy birthday to Kyle right here.
Our local Boromir.
Yep. How you doing, buddy?
Yeah. I just most of the painting on this, so it should be all done and ready for the convention next week, Halloween, all that.
Last minute touches on that costume for Halloween. Wow.
Yep, and everything, yeah.
Hey, Kyle, since I don't have a costume at all, do you think you and I should shack up together for a minute and maybe do two Boromir and Faramir guys at the same time, or a couple of Gondorians?
Yeah, I can always make another one.
No, yeah, that's all right. You can make another one. No, I mean, since you've got that brand new one that you're making, don't you have another one from before that I could wear?
Yeah, I have my fountain guard, yeah.
Hey!
There you go. You
oh
can
my
reprise
gosh!
Your role.
If we took over Halloween as Fountain Guard and your new Boromir, oh my gosh, that would be amazing!
He's gonna reprise his role.
I would do it.
Yeah.
But I was never a Fountain Guard. I was just a regular guard on the wall.
You got promoted.
Whoa! Okay, I'm just talking crazy pants. Everyone in the chat says happy birthday, Kyle. There are lots and lots of chatters here who say happy birthday.
I say happy birthday too.
Tell us a good story, Kyle.
When you were little.
Do
it, Kyle.
I don't know. I made this costume as a picture of myself in reality. So, and I'm gonna go and have dinner soon. All that fun. If there's a show on next week, I'll come in. I'll bring this entire outfit, and I'll show it to everybody there.
That's fantastic.
And
but no, there won't be a show next week on Halloween. Sorry.
Oh, I'm just saying, I can always bring this in later anyway.
Yeah, but you would definitely definitely bring the new costume and show us, for sure.
Do it.
Yeah. But, like I said, I'll have it done for this convention next week, so I know Hannah will probably just throw it up on the wondering.net story on Instagram. So.
Yeah, it will always be me, not Justin. Me.
Yeah, you.
Yes.
Well done, sir.
I'm happy this is done, because it's been a long road for it.
And you're still working on it. You still have plenty of things to finish on it before next week, right?
I just have to give it like a coat of orc blood, and it should be done.
You're gonna go to sleep, though. Do it, Kyle.
No, sleep is for the week.
No. I know I say that, but you're gonna go to sleep on this one. Do it. You need that.
Sleep, buddy.
Sleep.
Sleep. Yes,
I'll drive
Kyle,
to your house.
But not tonight. Tonight you celebrate. Tonight you celebrate because it's your birthday.
Yeah, tonight I celebrate.
Yes.
Yeah. I'll sleep on the weekend.
Wow. Hey, Janessa, you're going to have snow the day before Halloween, and we're sitting here in 109 degrees in the heat of this studio. You know how hot it is inside the studio? Do you guys know why I took this hat off?
20,000 degrees.
That's why we're eating ice cream.
Yeah.
And oh no. Oh my gosh, I can't.
You can't?
I'm tempted though. We've got dry ice in there too.
I'm going to eat that
Kyle,
too.
It was 109 in Hollywood yesterday. Today it's 103. How are you handling it where you are and you're out in the garage spray painting and building leather armor and getting your costume together? How did you do it?
I go and drench myself in a pool and then come back out.
Oh, you're lucky you got a pool to throw in.
Yeah, the only good thing, the only good part about the heat is it lets the paint dry really fast.
Yeah, that's always a plus.
That's good. All right, guys. That's a good plan.
You guys get back to it.
Throw yourself in the pool.
Yeah.
Do it. Float like
I'm gonna need
Boromir.
it.
Yeah, float like Boromir, man.
Do it.
Yeah, float like Boromir.
Okay.
No, not the waterfall. You just gotta float. They all float. You'll float too.
You'll float too. Down here, we all float.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Do it, Kyle.
Do it. Bye, Kyle. We love you, man.
Bye.
Happy birthday.
Bye. Talk to you guys later. Thank you.
Bye.
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 That was awesome. That was so awesome. Want one? I think I might want one.
Here. Take this.
You want one, Justin?
I'll get the colder one.
You get the colder one?
Yeah.
I want the colder one.
No.
Oh my gosh. I love these. These are ice cream wonders.
It's so hot.
Blue Bunny ice cream wonders. Is the ice cream melting in there in the little case?
No, not really.
Hey, guess who's touring in the UK?
Who's touring in the UK? Beefcake.
Lynn Deere
Lynn Deere.
and his band, Flight of the Conchords.
Ooh. Cacao.
You mean Lynn Deere and Tamatoa? Lynn Deere and Tamatoa.
Tamatoa hasn't always been this glam.
He was a drab little crab once.
Now I could be happy as a clam.
'Cause I'm beautiful, baby.
I'm sorry, I'm done.
Did your grandma say, listen to your heart, be who you are on the inside? I need 3 words to tell her argument apart.
Your
granny lied. I'd rather be shiny.
Like I'm sorry, I had to bring it up. I had to.
I love it. That's one of my favorite songs to sing in karaoke. Like a diamond in the
there
rough,
was right.
strut my stuff. I can't. I'm too shiny.
I should have yelled at her. My friend just passed by.
So what 3 Lord of the
Where?
Rings actors will be
The blonde
in
woman just
Thor?
just walked by. You know Riley's Silverman.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was her.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, Riley. Where'd you go?
I don't know. I
There's
think she
3
walked
Lord
out.
of the Rings actors in Thor.
Lest we forget, not only is Justice League on the brainwaves of all the nerds everywhere, because the
It's mainly Thor.
new
I
ad
should get that
campaign,
out of the way.
but Thor comes out in theaters exactly 2 weeks for the big Warner Brothers release
on
of
my
Justice
dad's
League.
birthday.
I know. Now
Yeah.
you want to see something absolutely fabulous? These are fabulous. Look. This is the ad campaign that's all over town. All over town
Yes.
for Justice League.
one.
With all the characters together.
They don't even say that line.
I see the little symbols?
trailer.
There's little symbols there on the top.
The trailer doesn't
Flash.
even say those words.
The only one not represented is Soups. His symbol is there on the top.
Spoiler.
His symbol is on the top of these posters, but he is not. There's all the character posters appear. There's Gal Gadot.
It's all about Wonder Woman, guys. Forget Aquaman. He's weak.
Uh-uh.
Yeah.
It's Wonder Woman versus Hela at the box office. Oh, Hela.
Your eyes. Oh.
Jason Momoa.
He's weak. I don't care. He's weak.
Aquaman,
Yeah.
the Lord of Atlantis, is not weak.
Weak.
Do you think they could do a good job in 2 hours?
I'm appreciative that Joss Whedon has turned in a 2-hour cut of Justice League. I'm very appreciative. That's all it needs to be.
I felt Avengers was long.
Mm-hmm.
I think Avengers could have been 2 hours, and this is definitely good.
Batman versus Superman definitely was long.
No.
Watchmen was long. Even Avengers, Joss Whedon's Avengers and Avengers 2 were long.
Watchmen? Dude, I've got the director's cut of Watchmen, and I bought a separate disc with the animated pirate comic book, Tales of the Black
look,
Freighter, as a separate
Ervondi
disc.
agrees with me. I don't understand the attraction of Aquaman. I'm sorry.
Jason Momoa?
A Kiwi? Is he a Kiwi?
Imagine that.
Yeah.
Imagine that we're going to learn a little bit more about Aquaman than what you remember from the Saturday morning cartoon, The Super Friends, from
He
the
walks
70s.
out and he
from the
needs
70s.
a kiddie pool, okay? That's...
What?
He needs a kiddie pool to walk out. Is he gonna walk out if he has, like, fish powers or something? If he's, like... If he's...
Why does he need a kiddie pool to walk out? What? Since when?
Gills.
He's not
Yeah.
He's not eating gillyweed. He hasn't been underwater for the gillyweed Thanks.
That he has gills,
Thanks
though.
for the
Does he not?
bad Goblet of Fire reference. That was very bad.
Yeah.
Come here, don't leave me hanging. What was it? Oh, it was
No, but
Neville Longbottom gave Harry the gillyweed. So it's
He's
not like that. I mean,
yes.
Aquaman does not have gills. Like,
yeah.
this is not Del Toro's The Shape of Water. It's not. Aquaman is not like He's not like Abe Sapien. You're confusing Abe Sapien from Hellboy with Aquaman.
No.
Like, he
No,
can actually.
if he's like a mermaid or a merman, I should say.
Then he needs to be
in water.
Well, we don't know if that's even going to be in the story or not.
That's what I'm saying.
Aquaman has never been presented that way.
He's weak.
Since when? I've never seen Aquaman in the comic books or in any animations as presented that
weak.
way. No, he's not waterbound. He's not waterbound. He doesn't need a kiddie pool.
He needs a kiddie pool to go on land, dude.
No, he does not need a kiddie pool to go on land. That is so not true. Aquaman is awesome. I think he's awesome.
You're a liar.
What I don't know yet is what they're going to do with the character. I'm more interested in Ezra Miller as the Flash, because he's got the advantage of being the young, clueless kid, completely clueless kid, surrounded by all these adults who are taking things much more seriously. Well, actually, I don't know how old is Cyborg?
I don't know.
But I really like the colors on the new ad campaign, and I like Wonder Woman being, super Wonder Woman again, like right there next to all the bad boys on the Justice League poster. And hey, we're all looking forward to that, but Thor Ragnarok is going to be opened in 2 weeks before Justice League gets out. And we get how many Lord of the Rings characters in there? Actors from Lord of the Rings are in all over Thor Ragnarok. Who's top of the list? Cate Blanchett as Hela, the goddess of death. Who's next? Carl Urban? Carl Urban! Literally, Carl Urban is in Thor Ragnarok. I've forgotten what role he's playing, but this is going to be awesome because it's Carl Urban, our boy from Rohan.
Mm-hmm. I'm tempted to yell at her and go.
Go get her. Yeah, say hey. And who else? Who else is in Thor Ragnarok? Who's also in Lord of the Rings?
I don't know.
I think Martin Freeman.
Is he? I know he's in Black Panther, I think.
Oh, Martin Freeman's going to be in Black Panther.
Yeah, him and
Oh, that
Andy.
means if he does have a cameo, he's going to have a cameo in... he might have a possible cameo in the end of Ragnarok. Maybe not. But if not Martin Freeman, he's going to be in Black Panther. Okay, what else we got?
I think that's it. Maybe.
I'm intrigued. I'm so intrigued by Thor Ragnarok. But, I'm really excited to see Guillermo del Toro's The Shape of Water. I cannot wait to see that movie. It's going to be so beautiful. Yeah, let's leave that open.
Okay.
Yes, please. And thank you. Woo! Wow. Yeah, trying to beat the heat, kids.
It's
Kyle's lucky to have a swimming pool he can jump into. Wow.
I saw a commercial that spoiled the third character surprise in Thor.
No, I don't want to see any TV commercials. I have avoided the heavy onslaught of marketing. I like a teaser trailer. I like to see a teaser trailer early on.
Yeah.
But then when it gets close to a film's release, I will deliberately avoid, if I wish, spoilers that come from all the TV ads and all the cray-cray. What's that? Justin, you're being...
Justin again.
He's off the side of the camera.
Looking at his phone.
Treehouse.
There he is.
Please.
I don't know, like when it comes to
Treehouse,
advertisement...
Tell Justin to stop.
When it comes to advertisement, like, I contradict myself because I'm like, oh, it gives out too much information, but at the same time, I'm like that person where if something like with The Hobbit, when it came out, I was like, I gotta watch everything. Everybody be quiet. It's playing right now. I was literally, and I still am that person. And I'm like, oh, it's giving out too much. And then I'm like, shh.
We want more.
Shh.
See, now I can soak in.
It's terrible.
I think if they added more to the Blade Runner trailers, more people would have seen
No, the best thing about the Blade Runner trailers is that they left out that spectacular sequence with the holograms in the Las Vegas showroom. I'm glad that the trailers didn't spoil any of that. Audience gets to go and see it.
Nobody went and saw the movie.
And then you just spoiled it.
But Blade Runner 2049 is the reason why cinema exists. It is one of the best examples of just pure cinema. It is a movie-going experience that is distinctly tied into the original. You need to know the original and have an appreciation for the original if you're going to get any mileage out of this new film.
I don't agree.
I
went in
no,
cold.
sorry.
I went in cold and I loved it.
But you'd seen the you haven't you seen the original?
It's okay.
Oh, I'm telling you, no. The wait in the room when she walks in the room, spoilers. But anyways, I'm just saying.
It had the largest bigature budget since Lord of the Rings.
That was amazing. I loved it. The largest bigature budget. Blade Runner 2049 is an amazing, amazing film. I'm just saying, it's amazing.
Weta worked on it.
And Weta worked on it. Yeah, of course. They got some
might
credits
get
on it.
nominated for it.
530
Me too.
530-64FRODO. For Frodo. Yay. You guys, it's only 6:11. We've got 19 minutes left of our very relaxed show. We're having a relaxed talk show today, aren't we?
No, I'm like spastic.
You're not
What
spastic.
do you want to
Yeah.
talk about? What's on your mind?
You guys,
What's on my
bring us any
mind?
questions you want to ask or anything you want to talk about. But I'm looking at you, Dennis Villeneuve, however you pronounce it. I'm looking at you, French-Canadian director who made Arrival with Amy Adams and who made this amazing movie, Blade Runner 2049. It is immensely appreciated that we're now entering a world with very, very intelligent science fiction. Not cheaply put together, it's just so obvious, like, Passengers, like good sci-fi, hard sci-fi that's really smart.
You see, I can't
Really
say
smart.
anything about this because I haven't seen it.
Did you see Arrival?
No.
What an intelligent and satisfying movie.
Sorry, guys. I'm kind of... So...
Catch up with me now.
Hey, can you respond to some people on Twitter earlier this week that were...
Yeah. Who was on Twitter earlier this week?
They were tisk, how dare we be friends with Eric Vespa?
Oh, there was one person. You know what? We've been friends as a big fan website. Her name was Faith, or a comment came down on our Twitter feed because Eric Vespi revealed the true story that the studio, New Line Cinema, chose Sean Connery to be cast as Gandalf.
Offered him a piece.
Offered him a big piece of it. He would have been worth $100 million today if he had taken that percentage. And Sean Connery said he didn't get it, he didn't understand the material, so he turned it down. And Peter Jackson got to cast the person he wanted to cast, which was
Ian McKellen.
Ian McKellen. But the studio didn't want Ian. They wanted
The fans.
Sean Connery.
Gay Gandalf? That was huge.
Yes.
Gay Gandalf. No. You cannot say the fans didn't want him because you weren't in the room when Ian McKellen made his legendary appearance.
I was in the womb.
That I orchestrated. That day that he finished shooting in Montreal and left the set, and he had Bryan Singer with him. Bryan Singer and Ian McKellen with Tom DeSanto, arm in arm, fresh off the visit of finishing the first X-Men film, right before Ian McKellen was going to go down and start filming in New Zealand. And guess what? He stood backstage, fans didn't know he was coming up, and then one of the head guys from Comic-Con said, "We have a warm surprise for you. We want to just bring you, Ian McKellen. He's your Magneto. He's your Gandalf now." And the room exploded with a sonic blast of, like, Negasonic Teenager blast. It was a blast. It was just a blast of love. Really? Yes. I'm not exaggerating. It was a seismic wave of love. The ovation lasted for 6 or 7 minutes. They wouldn't stop screaming, loving. They loved him. And then he left.
I felt the shock waves.
I'm telling you, you did. Brrr, in your belly, and your mom's belly.
Yeah,
and guess what?
Like,
he left Comic-Con, got on a plane that afternoon, went straight to New Zealand that afternoon. We were lucky to have Ian McKellen come down and introduce himself to the fans that year. Yeah, and then he was down there doing principal photography for Lord of the Rings. It was all happening. So yeah, it was brilliant.
No more Hamilton
So, anyways,
references. Don't get me started.
I think Peter Jackson should go back.
Let's talk about horror movies.
The comment
please.
was like Eric Vespi from Ain't It Cool News had avoided controversy, I thought successfully, because charges against Harry Knowles of predatory sexual misconduct have plagued Harry Knowles and now have come out in the open, and a lot of these lead writers and contributors to Ain't It Cool News immediately cut all ties with Harry Knowles and removed their work and were like, well, we're leaving. You can't have any of our writing anymore. We're not going to contribute. We're out. And then we were quoting Eric Vespi telling the story about, Gandalf could have been Sean Connery. And then a lot of people on our Twitter said, shame on you, Eric Vespi. Shame on you for knowing that there was a sexual predator at Ain't It Cool News for all those years and you saying nothing about it. Hashtag complicit. And I'm like, well, I don't know. I've worked on the OneRing.net for over 20 years with people who are far and wide writers and contributors, and one of them might be a troublemaker and have done something to break the law, and I wouldn't personally know. So, am I going to be guilty or complicit as a writer for my website because someone else who is way down there? I mean, I don't know. I don't know how well Eric Vespi knew anything about what Harry Knowles was doing, so I'm not going to justify that or even defend that.
Yeah.
But it's entirely as likely as coming to an unfortunate snap judgment, which is what that was. That was an unfortunate moment of snapping into a judgment without really knowing anything about it. But that's the world we live in social media, where people can snap to judgments without really knowing anything about it. It's okay. But, I wasn't there, so I don't know. But it's just as likely that you can work for a big, busy website and not really know what the person down there is doing in their private life, even though they write for your same website as you. You might not really know. So you can't necessarily be complicit in any of that mess. But we still remain friends with Eric Vespi, Quint, who is a writer, film critic, and writer who appears in the extended version of The Hobbit: An Unexpected Journey. He is the fish salesman who sells the fish at the marketplace in the village to Bilbo, which is what Dwalin ends up eating for dinner. Yeah.
Which was very stale, apparently.
Stale fish?
Yeah.
According to Dwalin?
Yeah.
Really? It was stale sitting there? And he's like, this is quite good. But who wants to eat a fish head? Did he eat a real fish head?
I don't know.
Gross.
I think he might have.
Oh, gross. Who can eat fish heads?
Well.
No fish heads. Sorry.
You'd be surprised.
Let me see here. Okay. All right. Hey, any thoughts on Saw 8? Talking about horror movies.
Okay, let's talk about horror movies.
Jigsaw is coming out, which is Saw number 8. I've never seen a single one of those Saw movies.
I never have either.
I'm not into that kind of a horror film. Sorry.
For myself personally, I like horror of the mind, like psychological stuff. Like, that's what I like doing. I mean, like, as a filmmaker, my two biggest genres are fantasy and then psychological horror.
Psychological horror.
Yeah.
There's different kinds of horror films. We were just talking about the differences between, a ghost story or Eli Roth with Hostel or Saw 2 or 3, which is sometimes called torture porn, where people are just being tortured. And then there's there's monster movies, okay, not just ghost movies, where supernatural ghosts are coming to get you. Then there's demon possession, a whole other subgenre with demon possession. So we're covering a lot of them. We're like, there's torture porn, like Human Centipede and Hostel. There's ghost stories, like Poltergeist or
like the Amityville.
The Amityville horror ghost stories, or even Nicole Kidman in The Others, right? That's a good ghost story. Or even, ultimately, Guillermo del Toro with Crimson Peak, which is a gothic romance, more than it is a ghost story, as we know. Gothic romance. But anyways, there's ghost stories, there's demon possession movies, there's monster movies, where there's like a monster,
like a Frankenstein movie, like all the old classic horror movies.
Yeah, like
The Thing.
Gremlins, beastly monsters.
The Thing.
Gosh, yes. And Hellraiser. Hellraiser is like transdimensional monsters from a transdimensional place. Hellraiser, the Cenobites. So I'm interested in monster movies and ghost story movies, and demonic possession movies are always kind of interesting because they're psychological horror as much as they are spiritual horror. So those movies tread in both places. So the one place you're never going to get me to go as a moviegoer is torture porn. I'm not going to watch Eli Roth movies or Human Centipede movies or
it's
Saw.
gross.
Or people trapped in a room, they have to saw each other's body parts off. No. I'm not going to watch that. I'm not going to watch that. Sorry.
I think if they're trying to portray something like horrific like that, it has to have a rhyme and a reason.
Well,
but it shouldn't just be forced upon, you know, like if there's two guys, like you're saying, if there's two guys trapped in a room or whatever, and, you know, they're starving to death, you know, and then it's all like, oh, I'm sorry, I have to kill you.
Oh, no.
You know?
Okay.
I mean, I get that, but, like, just the excessive gore is just, I don't know one person, and I mean, I'm sure there's people out there, but I don't know one person that would enjoy that.
No. Well, here's the thing, but the Saw movies, I am aware of this, they have a built-in world, and there's, like, not a mythology, but there's a continuance of the character and the rhyme or reason that you said should be there. The rhyme or reason is there in the character Jigsaw, who is the demented genius who invents all these death traps, or, you know, and has these people trapped in these death traps. But he devises all these sadistic, really sadistic things, and so, you know, our friend on the chat is appropriate in identifying that the franchise is continuing an interesting story, but the most interesting thing to me, I'm glad you mentioned this, aside from, I don't know much else about these characters, but the success in movie business terms, they spent X amount of dollars, and the money they made back off of the Saw franchise is over 100 times their budget. Yeah. Imagine spending $1 and making $100 off of that. Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, to me, it's
you spent $100,000 on making that film. You made $1 million. That's $900,000 in profit. Whoa. That's what Saw, and you know, there's, you know, something to be said for the longevity of that franchise, to say the least. But yeah, scary movies for Halloween. My favorite scary movies are comedy, horror movies. Like,
I like 80s movies. I have to go with, like I've said like 10,000 times probably. I feel like a broken record.
80s movies?
I like The Thing. The Thing is my favorite.
The Thing. John Carpenter's The Thing.
That and The Shining as well, even though that's, you know.
What's Brain Dead?
Did you see Krampus?
Like, okay.
Krampus had effects done by Weta. Yeah. All these creatures and the Krampus designed by our friends in New Zealand. And I thought that was comedy horror at a really, really fun level. That was really fun.
With, like what Justin was saying with Brain Dead, like that's the most extreme I can go, because...
yeah.
What other horror movies did Peter Jackson do?
He did Brain Dead. Oh no, Brain Dead and Dead Alive are like this.
Brain Dead and Dead Alive and The Frighteners. The Frighteners, which is something that also appeared in our Twitter feed. The Shining is the best. Hey, Vicky, extra points for bringing Kubrick into the conversation. Thank you. I'm glad you said that.
Peter Jackson should do what Michael Bay is doing for horror movies, and Peter Jackson should produce a bunch of low-budget...
I would really be down for Peter Jackson to get back into comedy, zombie, destructo horror movies.
I think if they're done well, then yes. But if they're done, like...
Why do you think he's not doing it? You know Richard Taylor loves that stuff.
Well, yeah, I know, but I'm just saying, if it's done well, then yeah, but when you mention...
Why do you think they aren't?
No, I'm not saying that they aren't. I'm just saying if they're done well, then yeah, you know.
You know Richard would love.
He would.
Oh my gosh, Richard Taylor, Oscar winner Richard Taylor. He would love to do some crazy zombies that are getting chopped up by a lawnmower. Like, that's one of my favorite scenes ever, is when he's got that lawnmower and he's just chopping up those zombies in the house. In Dead Alive, released as Brain Dead in other parts of the world.
It's gross.
Yes, North Runner. Pete says he lives a block just very close to the Amityville house, where the Amityville horror actually happened.
Pete,
how about
take
that?
Pictures for me, please.
You know what? Do you want to see something really interesting, since we're talking about Kubrick for a second and The Shining? That is one of the best examples of psychological horror ever is The Shining. Unbelievably well drawn characters, well drawn. The way Kubrick used that house and made it a character. There's an interesting documentary exploring conspiracy theorists who have really, really weird ideas about Stanley Kubrick putting secret messages and conspiracy theory messages inside The Shining and his other films.
Okay.
And I think it's called Room 236.
Oh, the one on Netflix, right?
Yeah. Well, I think it was on Hulu. I'm sorry, Room 237? Thank you. Hey, I was close. It's called Room 237. Definitely worth checking out. At least to see how slightly off-center some of these people are and how they analyze film. But film analysis for you and for me is always fascinating. That's why we love films. But the film analysis going on for Kubrick goes across a lot of interesting pictures and is suggesting somehow that Kubrick was involved in faking the moon landing and that NASA did not land men on the moon. And The Shining is his mea culpa. Yeah, evidently that's what the scoop is on the poop. Scoop on the poop. I love Kubrick. Hey, do you like Hocus Pocus, that Disney thing that keeps resurrecting every year?
It's okay.
Yeah, see, I'm not a Hocus Pocus fan like a lot of you people are. Not a big... you know what? You want to give me a movie I'll watch every Halloween no matter what? Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yes!
Ready?
Yes!
Are you guys ready to close the show? Because we've got 4 minutes left.
I'm going to sing.
Someone call.
There are few who deny that what I do, I am the best, though my talents are renowned far and wide. When it comes to surprises in the moonlit night, I excel without ever even trying. With the slightest little effort of my ghost-like charms, I have seen grown men give out a shriek.
With the wave of my hand, with the well-placed moan, I have swept the very bravest off their feet.
Bump, bump, yay! So good! So good.
No.
Now together, but together. Okay. But who here would ever understand that the Pumpkin King with the skeleton grin would tire of his crown? If they only understood, he'd give it all up if he only could. Oh, there's a place outside of my home. Oh my God, we went real pitchy. We went real pitchy there at the end. Anyways, a longing that I've never known.
The fame and praise
well, we just jumped to the end.
Year after year.
Does nothing for these empty tears. Oh yeah, there you go. There you go. We got a little. Oh yes, yes. We're totally singing. Yes, we kind of screwed that up, Vicky. But thank you for singing along.
It's fine. It's fine.
We jumped out of the tracks and went straight to the end. Skipped the whole second verse entirely. And
where he goes, I'm a master of fright.
And a demon of light, and I'll scare you right out of your pants. Bump, bump. To a guy in Kentucky, I'm Mr. Unlucky, and unknown throughout England and France. Bump, bump.
And since
I am dead, I can take off my head
to recite
Shakespearean quotations. No animal, no man can scream like I can with the fury of my recitations. Oh my gosh, that was fun.
I never sing, and I took so much pride in being all like, oh yeah, nobody's ever seen or heard me sing. But now it's up online.
Sarah says that was awesome, Hannah.
Thank you.
Sarah, you've never seen it? Sarah, is there one person on this earth who's never seen The Nightmare Before Christmas?
Apparently so.
Oh my gosh.
Hey,
oh my gosh.
Pete goes, now sing your mean one, Mr. Grinch. Yeah, I'm going to let you take that one.
Oh, you know what? RuPaul, the drag queen, RuPaul did a really funny cover version of
He did not.
You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. Da, 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 da. He did this real funny version, and it's totally RuPaul. And it's hilarious. It's really funny.
Absolutely amazing.
Emmy Award-winning host of RuPaul's Drag Race. thank you to the entire audience that's out there, the worldwide audience, the local American audience. You guys are awesome.
The outer space audience.
And you guys all, the transdimensional audience that's taking a TARDIS and coming interphasic just to watch us for a few minutes.
Don't worry, guys.
Thank you for phasing in and out of our reality. Thank you for not colliding with any antimatter while you're here. We're really glad that you guys...
You gotta watch out from them Daleks and them Cybermen. Am I right? Am I right?
You.
Yeah, see, he gets it. I get it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, watch out for the Daleks.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sarah's gonna get it. She's gonna be like, oh, yeah.
You guys are a wonderful bunch. Dedicated audience on Facebook Live, on Skype. We didn't get a single Skype call. You know what we got? We got hours and hours of Dodge Ram truck commercials, but we didn't get a single Skype call.
That's fine. I would take that now. I'm just kidding.
Thank you guys for participating in the show. This has been lovely chatting with you. Highly recommended. While it is still on the big screen, Blade Runner 2049, you will not regret it. You will not regret it. Happy Halloween to all of you wonderful people out there.
Look, it's a ghost hat.
It's a ghost hat.
No, I'm just kidding. He's going...
Have a great Halloween, everybody. We're not going to have a show next week, so we wish you a fond farewell for now. Let me do that again.
Be careful
we wish
for
you
Keith the
a
Nazgul.
fond farewell. Do you think I can
if
flip my hat?
If anybody remembers that. Keith the Nazgul.
I'm going to try to flip my hat up on my head.
Hey.
There you go. That's it.
Yeah.
Bye-bye, everybody. We love you. Hannah, thank you for joining me.
Oh, thank you.
Follow Hannah on Twitter and Instagram.
As Cimmerillion28 and as Baggins is here.
And I'm on Twitter and Instagram at QuickBeam2000. See you guys next 2 weeks from now after Halloween. Have a safe holiday. Get lots of candy.
Be careful for the candy.
Be very careful. Get lots of candy. Enjoy. Bye.